All right, again, welcome. My name is Leslie Householder. I am the co-founder of the School of Life Mastery and author of The Jackrabbit Factor, Hidden Treasures, and Portal to Genius. We're excited to have you join us tonight. Our guest tonight is Cosimo. Cosimo, I don't know how to say your last name.
It's okay. It's Intermite.
I would have said Intermite,
It's
Intermite,
fine.
right? Anyway, I don't think I've ever tried to say that before, and I apologize for botching it, but we're excited that you're here. I want to just tell you guys a little bit about Cosimo. He is incredible. My family, about 5 years ago, went through a training with him that I'm sure he'll get to tell you a little bit about, but it was mind blowing. And I know that so much of what we do here in our community, in the rare faith community, in the School of Life Mastery, is all about learning about the power of our minds and how we don't really understand how powerful our minds are. But once in a while, we get a glimpse and we can tap into our capacity just a little bit more. And that is one thing that Cosimo is so good at doing, is helping people really tap into the power of their mind. And his story is phenomenal. One thing that his teacher told him was that Cosimo, being dyslexic and having learning disabilities, you're not going to go very far. You've got to adapt. But now he's a world-renowned expert in advanced learning techniques. He's figured out how to tap into some of this power of our mind that we have: memory improvement, brain optimization, accelerated learning. He's proved that learning difficulties are no constraint to becoming successful, and that his teacher just needs to improve his motivational skills. He used his expertise as a brain coach to students, seniors, entrepreneurs, and educators for over 12 years. He was born and bred in the south of Italy. He moved to the United States with his wife, and he never looked back. In fact, within 4 weeks of migrating, he held his first course on techniques he used to learn English in just 2 weeks, which is mind-blowing. He's drawn on his studies concerning learning styles and techniques that consisted of 6,000 words and grammar rules. So he's an expert in his field with master level qualifications in mind mapping, speed reading, microfacial expressions, team building, public speaking, effective communication, goal setting, decision making, personal development, time management, and memory techniques. So he is the co-creator of the Genius in 21 Days course, which is available in over 50 countries with over 520 face-to-face and 600 virtual classes delivered every year. His impact on the student community has reached epic proportions. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to take any more of your time, Cosimo. I'd like to turn the time over to you. And everybody just buckle up, because this is going to be a great ride tonight.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Leslie, for this wonderful introduction. Guys, I'm very, very excited, and I want to ask you, does anybody here would like to evolve, grow? Raise your hand. Would like to learn faster, retain more, have a successful life like marriage or successful relationships or more money? I don't know, guys. I think you can raise your hand. And I like this because all of my speeches usually are not just monologues. I like having interactions with people, because there is one important rule. We start forgetting things we become passive about. So I don't want you to forget tonight. I want you to actually be involved, having yourself be open to what we're going to do together. And I really believe that we can all achieve fantastic results if we all know a method or how to do it. So I think everybody here wants to grow and evolve, as I said, right? And so what keeps us from to achieving exactly what we want, sometimes it's just a system, a method, a way to do it. Actually, talking about a method, let me show you something that it's possible with a method. So I need your trust and participation in doing that. Can I count on this? Yes? Awesome. So I'm going to share the screen with you right now. And I'm going to ask you to give me two-digit numbers, like 71, 11, 84, whatever it is. And then after that, so you cannot repeat the digits. Let's say I call your name. Like the first person I see is Leslie. Then I would see Charmaine. Then I see Roseanne. Then I see Tamara. Then I see Ted, Deb. Anyways, I will go ahead this way. You just need to give me two-digit numbers. Okay? They're all different. So Leslie, give me the first one.
4 or 5.
Okay, 45. Perfect. Then Charmaine.
11, 13.
11. Just 11. So keep the 13
Okay.
for later. Roseanne? Okay, you can put in the chat if you can talk. Then Lindsay.
39.
39. Then Ted.
77.
Okay. Then Jerusha.
87.
87. Then Shelise.
12.
Then 12. Then Jen.
61.
61. Then Sue. I didn't hear you. You can put it in the chat. Then Irene. Oh, Irene. That's an Italian way. Okay, let me go back. Leslie again.
72.
12.
72. 12. Someone said already 12. Can you change it? Okay, we'll go back. So Leslie.
13.
13. Perfect. Then Charmaine. She took the 13 from you. So
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. 15.
15. Okay, perfect. Then let's go to Lindsay.
39 or 99.
99. Then Jerusha. Then 25 I see in the chat. Adrian, perfect. Shelise.
24.
24. And
62.
then 88. And then last one is 60. I heard 60. Okay. So now I want to ask you a question. If you had to memorize all of those numbers in the order you see them, what would you do to memorize them? I promise I'm not going to ask you to do it for real, but if you had to do it for real, what would you do to memorize all of those numbers in the order you see them?
Repetition.
Okay, yes, exactly. You're going to repeat over and over. Does anybody here would divide it to repeat it? Or would you repeat the whole thing? Anybody would divide it this?
I would divide.
Okay, perfect. So even if you divide it, though, you still need to repeat over and over to have all the sequence the way you want it, correct? So because if you notice, no matter where you're from, you were always exposed to one way to do it, which is repeating over and over. So I want to ask you this question. How long would it take you to feel totally confident you would know all of those numbers correctly?
A day.
A day? Okay, perfect. Anybody that offers more or less about a day? Who
Or
says
more, a day or more.
a day or more? Okay, who says a day or more? Raise your hand. Okay, so who says less than a day? Raise your hand. Well, I'm sure that some of you would say I will never do it, but it's okay. It doesn't count today. Let's say everybody has to do it. Okay, so let's say 1 day or more, about a day. Now, if you had a method to memorize all of this, in how long would you expect to memorize all of this? Of course, in less time. So in how long would you expect to memorize this if you had a method?
Maybe an hour or less. If you
Yeah,
have
okay.
the method down.
So less than 1 hour. Would be impressive for someone to memorize this if you take 1 day in less than 1 hour, yes or no? Yes?
Yeah.
So now I have a question for you. Of course, we have just 1 hour today. I cannot take 1 hour to memorize this. So in how long do I need to memorize those numbers in order to impress you?
You probably already have them down.
No, I don't have it. I want to show you how long it takes me. So I don't have it. How long would it take? How long would it needs to take me to impress you?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. So we said 3 minutes. I need someone with a stopwatch. Does anybody here wants to volunteer with a stopwatch? Lindsay, perfect. So Lindsay, you're going to say 3, 2, 1, go. I start memorizing all of those numbers. Then when I finish, you tell me stop. So yeah, I'll tell you stop. You tell me how long it took me to memorize this. Okay. Guys, take a picture while he's putting the thing because I'm going to delete all of them after I finish. So there is no way for me to see them again. Take a
Okay.
picture.
Ready?
Just a second, I don't hear you. You said, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be a stopwatch, not a timer, okay? Make sure it's stopwatch.
Well, I've got a stopwatch on my.
Awesome. Whenever you're ready, you say 3, 2, 1, go, and I start memorizing.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Okay, stop. How long did it take me?
27.5 minutes or seconds.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to delete all of this. Okay, very good. Now, so I memorized all those numbers. I didn't tell you them yet. But before I tell you the numbers, I want to tell you why I chose numbers. And actually, who am I? Because Leslie introduced me really well. But this is something that it's really interesting to understand also another point of view. Years ago, there was a company in Italy that was testing people's brain characteristics and determining their future based on their blocks. So basically, they were testing you for memory skills, emotional regulation skills, so how you manage your emotions. They were testing your productivity skills, reading skills, every skills your brain has to make and build a life. Well, they disclosed the results after 20 years. Those people took the test and they were scary accurate. They were 99% right on the lifestyle, the results, and everything those people built in their life based on the blocks they analyzed. Well, the problem is they never gave them a solution. And so we acquired the test, and to each block, we associated a technique using neuroscientists and scientists in Italy. And so block technique. So the way we could customize a perfect method on people's brain characteristics. And after thousands of hours and many students, over 60,000 students in the world, it's now possible to customize a perfect method on people's brain. So they can start reading 4 times faster, retaining 8 times more, or becoming 10 times more productive and focused in everything they're doing. At the same time, they can be more empowered in managing and controlling their emotions towards the results they want. Because you all agree that emotions can influence our life, yes or no? And can influence also the results of our life, yes or no?
Mhm.
Awesome. So now, I'm still talking to you and I didn't tell you the numbers yet. Do you want to know them?
Yeah.
Well, I chose numbers because it's the most difficult thing you can ever memorize. Why? A number. Why should I memorize this freaking number? I don't care about this number, right? And so all those things your brain plays already prevents you to have the best effort in doing it. So how we talk ourselves defines the results we're going to achieve already. But besides that, your brain talks to you that way because you don't have a method. So now let me show you if I know those numbers or not. Are you ready? So now I'm going to turn my way this way. So the way you don't think I'm cheating. Can you tell me out loud if you hear me? Yes?
Yes, it's faint, but yes, we can.
Okay. If you trust me, I'm going to then be this way and covering my eyes. Is it good for you?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So perfect. We have digit by digit. So that way you can hear me better. We have 4, 5, 1, 1. Then we have, just a second, 3, 9. Then we have 7, 7, 8, 7. 1, 2, 6, 1. Then we have 7, 2. Then we have 1, 3, 1, 5, 9, 9. Then we have 2, 5, 2, 4, 8, 8, 6, 0.
Boom.
What do you think?
I'm
Awesome.
impressed.
You have to look at your eyes, guys, and your faces right now. You can actually. So it's incredible. Now, I was so obsessed about the brain that now you guys are saying, this is incredible. What if you can really do this with your brain? How many more things can you learn? How many more things can you really achieve in your life by having this efficiency? Here's the point, though. It seems impressive once you don't have a method. But once you have a method, according to you, is going to be still impressive? Well, maybe. But once you have a method and you know the system underneath, that makes it sense to you. And you say, oh, something now that's not possible for me, it becomes possible. And it opens more possibilities in your life. Are you all with me with this? Yes? So now, then I went through the learning and I said, how does our brain work? It's so fascinating for someone that's dyslexic and ADHD doing this. It's incredible. And so I said, I became more obsessed about this and about the life in general. And what I asked myself, which Leslie opened that really well, is we use this and we tap into this potential to build our life. But how do we build our life? Because I don't believe that magically overnight we are incredible people, right? So meaning that it's not that you wake up one day and overnight you just had an incredible marriage. Or you don't wake up one day and incredibly you are confident. You don't wake up one day and you have wealth, house, whatever. And I don't believe also that you one day wake up and you feel totally uncomfortable or unconfident. You wake up, you're disconnected or overwhelmed. So that happens because we put brick by brick, decision after decision, choice after choice, and habit after habit. We start building that result. A marriage doesn't collapse after one day, but after many things that have not done, haven't been done during the time. And so those bricks then create our life. And eventually we build in what we have built, right? We live in this, and when you build, let's say, imagine like this wonderful house that you built brick by brick in your life, okay? At some point, you see showing some cracks, okay? Ever had a crack in the house? Or maybe you know someone else that had a crack in the house? Well, if you're in Florida, I'm in Florida right now. There are those turtles that go on the foundations of the house. I have a friend of mine who had different cracks in the house. He couldn't figure it out. He said, "Oh, I'm patching that crack since I cut here." So because when you have a crack, what do? Cosmetics. You see it, you patch it, you paint like new. 6 months later, crack again. You patch it, and then you paint it over. It's everything good. And then again, the crack, at some point, you stop fixing this because there must be something underneath going on that we cannot see. And when I thought about this, that made me think about life, because we do the same thing in life. Because the question I have for you tonight is, what is your crack? What is the crack you look at? Let's say for some of you, it can be money. At some point you got comfortable, you're finally the breath, we're having more money, but then something happens and you're back to pressure. Or what's the crack? Can be your relationship. And it can be something like different day, different conversation, maybe different fight, but always the same feeling. Or it can be procrastination. You plan it, you decide it, but then something happens, you don't do it. Or it can be that you need someone else's approval to be yourself. Or it can be that you don't love enough yourself. Or it can be that you maybe don't feel enough despite all the effort you're putting in your life. So what is your crack? What is this thing that keeps returning in your life? Maybe with a different outfit, maybe in a different time. And you just look at it, and I'll tell you, according to neuroscience, we have 4 behaviors when we are not trained. So what I mean is, when we are not able to manage our emotions, because nobody really taught us how to deal with emotions. Think about it. Nobody told you this is the way to deal with emotions. Just deal with it. Most of the times, that's what they told us, right? And according to neuroscience, this creates different dysfunctional behaviors. And this is the part of the training of tonight. The first behavior, you look at the crack and what happened, and basically just want to look away. You don't want to think about it, and you keep going without thinking about it. Second behavior that people fall into when something happens, they get busy. They start doing more work, kids, phone, and all of that, just to avoid the feeling of the crack. And at the same time, at least they are moving. They're doing something. The third behavior is attack it. They become so angry about that crack. And they start thinking, this cannot happen again to my life. How is it possible it's happening again? And they try to fix it with all their strengths, and all their focus is on that crack, despite everything else around themselves. And the fourth behavior is repressing it. Basically, they start thinking, it's fine. It's my problem. And they put themselves last in front of any other people in their life. And at some point, then they drown in those emotions and they become depressed, or there are other effects in this case. So what is your crack? That's what I'm asking. You don't need to tell me. You can just think about it. But I'm telling you those 4 behaviors because so you can cover it, you can ignore it, you can run from it, you can look away, you can do whatever you want, but the crack is still there. And maybe, here's the point, maybe instead of fixing it, let's ask a different question. Let's go from how do I fix it to what is this crack trying to show me? What is underneath? And now here's what it gets really interesting, because I'm going to show you now something. Let me share the screen again, because what's underneath is really interesting. And the fact we don't know how to go underneath, it makes it scary, because something that's unknown makes our brain firing up like, how do we do this? I don't know. But knowing how to do it, it gives you so much power. And so here it is. Here's the point. So you build the house. What's the house in my metaphor? Is a result. So let's see if everybody agrees with it. Is your health a result? Yes or no? Raise your hand. How healthy you are is a result. Yes. Is your business a result? Yes or no? Let's say you're going to school. Are grades a result? Yes or no? Yes. So your relationships. So your relationship with yourself. So everything you see in your life. Are you all with me with this? Yes? So we have basically results. That's the first break. The house that we see, right? This is the beautiful house. And then the house is made up of different bricks, right? And those bricks are the actions we're taking, because to achieve results, we cannot stay just still. We have to take actions. And so the result you're seeing in your life are things that you did and things you didn't do. Decision you made and decision you didn't make. You following with this? So, but here's the thing. What makes a quality decision a quality decision? What makes a decision good or bad? What makes our action higher quality? And I'll tell you something that sometimes we don't think about it, but it's really blatant. So we said actions here. And then if you go deeper than this, we have our emotions. What we feel determines the quality of the actions we have. Let me ask you a question. Would you make the same decision when you feel peaceful as when you feel terrified? No. Would you talk to your spouse in a different way, talking the same way when you feel loved as when you feel rejected? No. Would you have the same energy if you felt depressed? Would you have a very high energy if you felt depressed? Of course, no. So I want to say to you, the emotions really makes the quality of the bricks we put and the results we're achieving in our life. Are you all with me with this? But here's the point even deeper that people don't really think about. And what's then? Emotions. And then there is something underneath. There is this huge, huge foundation that we need to have very, very still for us to build this wonderful life. And what do we have in the foundations? I'm not going to spend an entire hour talking about the foundations. We can have another time to do this, but I'm going to give you some hints. We have what we think about ourselves. Someone says our thoughts. It's good. Actually, we have the thoughts about ourselves. We have also the rules we have made in our brain to live our life in a certain way. So rules. We have our values, the way we see our life. We have different patterns in our brain that makes us think in a certain way. We also have events that happen in our life. We're still carrying, and we don't even realize it anymore after a long time. We have meanings we associated to circumstances and to people that sometimes still hurt, that we don't even think, I don't want to think about it, because we think time is going to change that. I'll tell you something, guys. Time is not a person, is not a thing. Time is a tool that you can use. The only way to change it is really to change your thoughts, beliefs, and all of that, and everything is underneath. And the thing is, this is all dark, because when you don't know what's down there, the basement or the foundation, the dirt, can get you dirty, right? It can become very scary to dig down there when you don't know how to do it. So here's my invite to you. I think we need to stop building and start actually digging. Here's the point. I think the mistake that I would say most of people do, is that when our life doesn't give us the result we want, when we see that our life is not the way we want, we start adding something else. A new goal a new thing to do. We buy something else, or we had a new achievement. So more information, more stuff, more building. But there is a point in which you cannot. It's not necessary to add another floor to your house, because to add it, your foundations has to be very still, has to be very solid. And so there is the moment in which we need to stop building and start digging. And I know, guys, nobody likes digging. Nobody actually takes pictures of the foundations, okay? It's not something fancy to do. And most of the times they are built when nobody is looking at us and nobody can actually congratulate with us. So let me share my story, because I think this can be very interesting. When I talked to Leslie, we decided that I wanted to share this story. And it's, I would say, the second time I'm sharing this story with someone. So not long ago, few months ago, I really reached the bottom of my life. Okay. So not as like the bottom, but one of the bottom of the life. That happens to everybody, I think. Well, I was bombarded, guys. I had business going slow. My parents, specifically my father, had two things. He both attempted suicide and he had an accident. Okay. And I'm here in America and he's in Italy, and I couldn't go over there because I had other things that I needed to take care of here. My wife was going all over the place with the kids and taking care of them, and she felt unseen because I was so focused on those things to be fixed. Plus, we had investments, and we lost a like something we gained in a year worth 1 year, like in a few days. And so there was a big hit we got. And so in that moment, you know what happens to you instinctively? What you do, you start fixing it, try to fix it, right? Right here is when I said a sentence that really resets my life immediately. And it's like, I sat down and I said, Father, save me. Now, I don't care what you believe in or what you don't, if you don't believe, I don't care. You can call it God, you can call it universe, energy, loving intelligence, whatever you want. For me, it's a father. And I said, Father, save me. And I remember still it was night. And in that moment, that sentence allows me to reset, allows me to stop fixing and start digging. Because here's what I realize. When the devil, the evil, can make you a bad person, it will make you busy. And here's the point. The devil doesn't want you to dig. He wants you to just be enough disconnected, attacking your crack, be focused on your crack, ignoring the crack. Because being disconnected is enough for you not to feel yourself or to feel loved from yourself, from the people around you, and enough not to achieve the results you want. So after I understood this, I said, okay, let me use all the tools I learned and I taught for years in Italy, in the US, to dig and understand and fix it. And I can tell you, it's not a very good place where you get to, because you get dirty, right? So I got scared. I felt alone. I felt that I had tools. I know where to go, because you know where the foundations are. So I know where to go. I know what to fix. And so I went down and I realized that this whole thing was happening. And I had different patterns to change, different ways that I needed to learn about myself. And among all the things that I learned, which I'm not going to share tonight with you, one thing I want to share with you. I believed in God for all my life. I can say that. Okay. But believing in God, I realized, is different than surrendering to God. Surrendering it happens when you know there is that action that you have to take. It's uncomfortable, but you know it's right for you to take it. Surrendering for me became, for example, tonight. You're here. You could do 1,000 other things, I'm sure. Okay. But you decided to be tonight on this call because maybe there was a message you need to listen to. Maybe there was an action that requires you to take after this. Maybe we're going to work together at some point, and that's the next step God wants you to take. I don't know. But that's surrendering because you're following that energy. And maybe some of you maybe didn't want to be here, but you said, you know what, I'm going to join anyways and see what it is. What is this freaking guy from Italy talking about life? Surrendering means having that intuition and just follow it. And even if you see the door shut, you have that faith that a bigger door is going to be open for you, because then maybe the door would have not brought fruit in your life. And so feeling to the Father was immense, guys. I don't know how to explain it. And now, when I say, Father, save me, I don't expect God to do everything for me, because that would be like passive, right? Oh, just do it now. No. God opens the door. You have to walk through it. And here's what happened. You can expect magically, I woke up in the morning and everybody was good, right? No, I didn't say the day. I don't want to say the day after, but a week after, the business got a very good opportunity. After fixing those foundations, God told me, stop using your tools to fix the thing and start fixing your foundations. And so I did it. And I used my tools and I said, share this with as many as you can. And that's what I'm doing tonight with part of you and other people tomorrow. And so I want to say to you, my father, first of all, recovered. The business got a good opportunity. I remember that my wife called me and said, oh my gosh, you cannot believe this. They are giving us back the investment and also the interest that we needed to have. And he was incredible, because when the devil can make you bad, it will make you busy. And I didn't want to be disconnected. And so I need to work on my foundations. I need to work on underneath. I need to get dirty, because there was one day a dumb question they asked me. I don't want to say dumb, I would say curious. Someone said, Cosimo, you are the guy that for years have been teaching people to work on the foundations, and it seems like you have everything figured out. I said, well, I'm far from being perfect. That's for sure. But I want to say something to you, the guy that was talking to me. I said, having tools doesn't prevent you to have the storm coming. But when the storm comes, if you don't have tools, then there will be a difference between who has tools and who doesn't, who worked on the foundations, who didn't. Period. So I want to say to you that this was an important story for me. And I wanted to really make you focus on one important thing, which is, what is your crack? Really, what is that crack that you keep watching, that keeps you busy, that keeps you attacking it, that keeps you running away? And instead of asking again, how do I fix it? Let's get a little bit more curious about it. Like, what is this crack trying to show me? What is that is trying to teach me? What's leading me? And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say something. I had the fortune to touch thousands of people, okay? Thousands in Italy and also here. And when I do a course in which we work on the foundations, I had some people coming to me and they said, I don't know how you can surrender to things. I don't know how to forgive. I don't know how to love myself. And I say, why? And they said, I don't know, it's so hard for me. And in the moment, they start saying, because you don't know what happened to me. Because you don't know that I'm an angry person. I cannot change that. I've been always this way. Because, I overthink when I start working on something underneath. And and I understand them, You know why I understand them? Because we are not builders here. Nobody is a builder here, I think. I mean, if you're building houses, I understand it. But I'm not a builder, I would say that way. But here's the thing. Let's say you're not a builder. You're not someone that is able to build a house, okay? And today you see your own house sinking, and the foundation is the problem. And you're the only one that can fix the foundation. Would you feel overthinking, overwhelming, not good enough, scared, thinking what's happening and all of that? Yes, you would. Because that's what happens when you don't know how to do it. You may know where it is, but you don't know how to deal with it. And so since we don't know, it's better to avoid it, to start fixing something we can see. Are you with me with this? And when I was talking to those people, it was interesting because I started feeling the love they had for change in their life. And soon later, once they went into those foundations, and they had tools, the overthinking, the overwhelming goes away, and the truth start coming to you, to where you're headed to and what you want to change in your life to build it. Because at the end of the day is, what are you building your life on? How can you build a life if you're never expecting your foundations? So you can't. And so now, last thing I want to say is, for me, telling my story to you, it was important. And maybe your story is nothing like mine. Maybe it's worse. Maybe I don't care. I honestly would love to hear it, but I don't want to compare my story to anybody else. And I'm not here to tell you what your crack really means. I'm here to ask you to get a little bit more curious, to go underneath and to find out what's there. And not everything will be bad. Let me tell you this. There will be wonderful things about yourself that you maybe never realized they have down there. And many other things you're not using that are wonderful about you. But there are many others that need to stop holding you not to go ahead the way you want to. So, and that's where we start working together without feeling overwhelmed. And when I had the last concept before before we conclude this tonight, there is a difference between inspiration and transformation. So tonight, among you, there will be someone that would say, wow, that was awesome. Someone that would say, this was okay. And someone that would say, he has a very heavy accent, whatever, okay? But inspiration is different from transformation. Tomorrow, if you don't take an action towards what you think you should take the action, it will not change your tomorrow. And so, which is why I have built what I built that I will share with you. When I talk about transformation, we actually dedicate 4 days in person in Tampa, in which you just stop, inspect your foundation, you look at them, you experience it, you understand it, you really connect with it. And in those 4 days, you understand about relationship you had in your life, what happened in your life, why those things keep coming back to your life. You understand what patterns you have, emotions, feelings, and beliefs, and rules, and everything that's underneath. Very, very in depth. And after that, you start understanding where you're heading to. And if there is something you want to change to really see a different result in your life, that will happen there. And so I don't expect right now that you say, yes, Cosimo, we love you so much that we're going to come with you 4 days in a course in Tampa in person. Awesome. Well, if you're thinking that, I love you back. And at the same time, what I'm saying to you is that I have built, instead of 4 days, a 3 hours taste. By the way, the course I'm talking about, the 4 days one, is called One. And when you will see it on the website or whatever, I chose that name, One, because it makes people whole, connected, one. Okay, that's why I chose that name. And I decided I was doing this in Italy for many years, and I decided to bring it to the US this year for the first time, because of that time in which I asked the Father. That was the truth. I felt that even if I was so busy, I could do this. And actually, you have no idea how I was blessed, because we are already filling that up and it's freaking amazing. And I want to say to you that I decided to do it because one of the things that I realized that night was I'm a father, so I have 2 kids. And I don't know if anybody here is a parent or so if you have any grandkids, whatever. But I would say to you that as a parent, you always want your kids to be happy, and maybe nothing happens to them, so they can be extremely happy with whatever endeavor. And if you could give your life for them not to feel the pain that sometimes they can feel in their life. Do you all agree with this? If you're a parent? Yes. Well, there is something I realized. I cannot control their life. I cannot prevent them to fall. But what I can do is to give them the best tools that when that happens, they know who they are and what to do. how to inspect their foundations, and then be the best example that I can be. But I will always be there for them to support them. Well, that's why I said they're going to come to the one. They already came in Italy and they were in love. I mean, my 6 years old, they were in love with it because of the exercises and the things we do, the emotions and all of that. But she's now a little bit grown up, and so she's going to love it. Now, as I was saying, I don't expect all of you to say, let's go 4 days together there. It's going to be awesome. But if you want, I'm here. So I built a 3 hours taste of the one in which we all stop. It's online, it's 3 hours, and we just focus on one crack, not all of them. One pattern, one thing that keeps coming into your life. And instead of keep fixing it, you just look at it and you start realizing and being aware of what it is. Now, guys, don't expect in those 3 hours to have a major transformation, okay? I wouldn't even think about it, because transformation happens after you're working for 4 days, yes. But that it gives you a taste and awareness that otherwise you couldn't have. And I want to say to you that usually the course, just a second, it's called One Shot. So very creative, short version of the one. And One Shot, and it will be September 3rd, 3 hours. And just a second, I want to share this with you. Usually, if you go on the website, and I don't want you to go because I'll tell you why. This course is sold for $997 for those 3 hours, okay? But for all of you here, and they are watching also this video, it will be free to you to come, okay? And do those 3 hours together. Now, after this, of course, guys, I'm going to say to you, who would you like to come to the 4 days with me? But you're going to have a way better understanding of what it means working on yourself in those 3 hours. And if you want that day, you're going to have more information and then move forward. And maybe we'll see all of you in person in your eyes. In order to have this for free, I'm going to put in the chat my number, and you have to just text me. I will make this easy. I will put it also on the screen for someone that's watching this. It's 303-589-7430. You text me your name and the word one. Okay, you can put also One Shot, whatever, one. And then I will send you a link for you to register. The link can be expanded for free to anybody you really want. As long as they put your name, we're not going to charge them to come to the event. There will be other people coming paying for the event. So you're going to be with other people on September 3rd. Okay. And what time is it on September 3rd? So it will be from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So it's 3 hours. Any questions before I go ahead? I know that you're texting in the chat, but I'm not reading. Cosimo, would you be good for them to mention? Yes, they can too. Yes. You can mention Leslie Householder or Rare Faith, anything. So if you're watching this video, you can also use Leslie and Rare Faith. So I know that it's you. I mean, we're not giving this for free to anybody. So I know that if you ask that for free, it's you for now. But yes, put the name of Leslie or Rare Faith. That would be great. I think someone else put something in the chat. If I didn't answer any questions, guys, you can ask me.
Leah asked if there was a list of questions or journal prompts to help evaluate the foundations. Is that what they would get at the 3 hours?
Yeah. Yes. So during the 3 hours, we're going to do an awareness workshop. And there will be different questions you can ask yourself. And yes, you're going to evaluate your foundations. You're going to evaluate 13 areas of your life coming to that workshop. But we're going to focus on one instead of 13.
And did you say what time it was at?
Yes, it's September 3rd. I will put Eastern time, then you do the math, okay? 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay? So, and you can extend this to anybody who would like to come with you. Say, trust me, I'm giving you $1,000 gift. Just come, because I'm part of Rare Faith. So just come and invite them there. And then whether they like me or not, they're going to have a good experience. So
Irene would like to know if she can send you a text through WeChat because she is in the Philippines, or if
You-
there's some other way she can sign up.
Okay, so can you then email me at this point? I think it's easier. This is my email. Put it in the chat. And I will conclude the event in a little bit after I answer any questions you have before I go ahead. So I will conclude then this. I mean, we are ahead of time. You can ask me questions, but I can conclude it and then you can ask me questions too. Okay. I would say, first of all, I thank you, Leslie, because I called you because I wanted to hear how you were. And I know you've dealt with different things. And so I really care about you. So I feel like we have a very good connection. And that's why I texted you. And then we had that conversation. And from this conversation, all those people could hear this. So you guys, if you know you have a great leader, she really cares. She really cares. So I want to thank you for that. And the second thing I want to say to all of you is, again, what is your crack? At the same time, what you learned tonight is the crack is not important. What's important is to stop and start digging. Because God, and this is my message to you, before God elevates you, it makes you excavate. Because the more solid your foundations are, the higher you can get to. So, again, think about your crack. And at the same time, don't ask yourself how to fix it, but what is it trying to show me? What am I building my life on? Because that's what your kid and your kids and the people around you are going to see, not who you pretend to be, but your foundations and where you're standing into and onto. With this said, I'm open for any conversations, any talks, anything, but I want to do an applause to all of you that were able to stay until the end with this Italian heavy accent guy. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time you've spent with us sharing these ideas. And one thing I love about the visual that you described about the crack and the foundation and how the house has all these layers and then down at the bottom, that was a visual that I don't think I have ever considered before. And I love it so much because it shows us that the cracks in our life are not the problem that we think it is, or that they are, as much as they are clues about what might be lacking in our foundation. Because cracks happen when our foundation is uneven, or it's compromised, or it's lacking, or if it was never established in the first place. And I'm quite sure that as you bring groups together to talk about their foundation, everybody kind of knows instinctively what may be down there missing, right? It's probably a very self-reflective and getting honest with yourself exercise. Would that be the case?
Yes, I really agree with you. I honestly, without being trained, we do everything we can based on what we know, right? And so what I only knew in my life was to fix it. What's what my father did. But I also noticed that my father was repressing so many emotions about things that happened in his life. And he never had a way to actually um, deal with it in its foundations. And I can tell you, oh guys, I didn't tell you this actually. I can if you want about my father. He actually took the one and in Italy with me. I mean, I have a video that I will show you on the one shot we're gonna do. He doesn't exercise. He just cries out everything he has inside. He understood something important about himself. And I am a coach and I'm holding the program. So I don't have time to talk to my parents during this program. So they're taking the program, but I don't have time to talk to them. And I was going to the room and my father waited for me about 3 a.m. in the morning because we have the staff and everybody to redo the room and everything. And you know what happened? He said, I don't know. I know now why for 10 years you've been asking for me to come to this course. and and I said, oh, hopefully other people are not going to take shows, guys. Don't take 10 years to take this course, okay? But I want to say, don't be my father. But I want to say, he said, I realized that there are so many things that I didn't need to be ashamed of because it's just what I thought happened to me instead of what really needed to teach me to be a better person, there was the breakthrough he had. My father is not only now way happier than he was ever in his life. First of all, he quitted the job he hated, and he started a new one, and he's 63, and he's 64. And so beautiful. Third, he is like, he's really enjoying and feel fulfilled about his life. And honestly, as his kid, as a child of his, well, also us wants to see our parents happy. So that gives me that, I would say to you, I'm very blessed because really God chose me to get into his life. And so I don't want to start like being emotional right now, but that's what I feel is a message for me. So I want to describe for you something visual, yeah, the cracks, because actually among all of this, my father always talks about cracks in the wall of the barn we have in the farm. So that was the thing.
I love it. If anybody has any other questions or comments that you'd like to ask him, you can either raise a digital hand or show us, your video and raise your physical hand. Anybody have a comment or question? This was really insightful, and it's got me thinking. It's interesting too, because I don't know if I should share this or not. It's kind of gross, but we've got weddings going on in my family, and I'm not really into doing my nails. Like, I don't go get my nails done very often, but I'll do it for a wedding, right? And I don't like the tips. I don't like acrylic. I don't like not feeling. I like to be able to feel myself scratching instead of these blunt, stubby things that fake nails can be. And I promise this is related, guys. Okay, just hang in there for a second. But I have a finger where the nail keeps splitting. Just as it grows out, it just splits down the middle. Just splits down the middle all the time. And so I said, I don't want tips. I don't want acrylic, but put some acrylic on this one because I've got a crack that I'm trying to grow out and strengthen. Well, that's all fine and good. And then a few days ago, I looked at it and I realized there is green under that nail, which is really awful and gross and bad, but it's because the crack allowed moisture to wick up through underneath. And they had to deal with that. And I'm like, there is an application. We can't just put something pretty on top of it. We have to deal with and address the crack. And the crack is just a clue as to what's going on in the foundation. So that's been my lesson this week, is we can't ignore the cracks, and we don't just try to glue them together. It doesn't work. We have to deal with what's going on underneath. So
Beautiful, Leslie.
Roseanne.
Hi, thank you. I just had one question about, when you're like, let's just get a little curious and ask, what is this trying to show me? And for the past 8 years, my husband and I have been going through joblessness and whatnot for 8 years, and it just keeps happening over and over and over. And we ask ourselves that we're willing to do the emotions, we're willing to look at whatever it is. But it's like when I ask, what is this trying to show me? I swear I have blind spots or something because I cannot see it. Do you have a suggestion on what I can do to ask instead?
I would say to you, well, I would start the one right now, guys, with all of you, to be honest with you, after this question. I just want to give you a clue on one thing. Just asking yourself what is trying to show me, it doesn't mean that you're ready to see the truth, because when the truth comes to you, it becomes overwhelming and your brain fires up and wants to avoid to hear it because it's uncomfortable, or if it is maybe painful. Okay. But I want to say to you, asking that question repeatedly will not make you ready at some point. So it's still there and you feel like, oh, maybe I got it. Maybe I got it. Well, the answer is not another like strategy or another whatever. It's really go on the foundations. And in the one shot, the one question I would ask you would be, what is that one behavior that it keeps repeating in each area of your life, not just one time, but multiple times in each area of your life that you can see? At the one shot, we talk about that and you start seeing deeper what your brain really think without judgment. And the moment you don't judge, you start seeing better. I want to explain this to you better. When you say this, what is it trying to show me? You are in the emotion of anger, frustration, and whatever you want to, or scarcity, or whatever it can be. You cannot see it clearly. You're filtered by those emotions. You're attacking actually the crack. You're not attacking the foundations in this case. You're putting all of your focus on the crack and not on the foundations. But when you are without judgment and knowing that you have tools to excavate, that's when you start seeing what's underneath. And whether you like it or not, it's what it is. It's uncomfortable, but now you will have a next tool to now deal with it and change it once for all. So that's the best I can do right now, because I cannot do a training in 1 minute. But I do see your heart, and I do see you're willing to change. Being that open is the most important thing you can have right now. And I can't wait to see you more. Maybe it's the last time I see you, but I hope I can see you more.
I've already got it on my calendar, so it's all good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Adrian. Nice to meet you again.
Hi. I had a thought that I just want to throw out there. So when you were talking about cracks, of course, there's the drug too.
Yeah, exactly.
The crack that you can get addicted to. And I thought this crack that we have, I think we're addicted to because it's comfortable. It's it's something maybe we learned in our childhood, something that's been there forever, and we keep coming back to it because it feels comfortable, it feels safe, it's an addiction. And I thought there's that maybe a little more depth to that word.
I love it, Adrian. Honestly, when I was using the word crack, I said, would I really want to use it? And so, but yes, it's also, you can have the double understanding. And I would say to you one thing, at the one, when we talk about addictions, because there is a part in which we talk about suicide and addiction, I say one sentence that maybe you described really well, by the way. And so I thank you for having that. I don't see anybody right now because I'm spotlighted, but I want to see everybody. So, which I say, that crack, it makes you see, it may seem familiar because you identify so long for that crack that when you remove it, you don't know who you are anymore. So, and when after that, we do an exercise that's really powerful on trust and surrendering, which is like, it opens your heart in a way that, for me, that I hold it, opens my heart. Imagine the other people, they're experiencing how it is. So thank you for that meaning, Adrian.
All right, Cosimo, I think this is a good time to wrap up. I just want to thank you again for being with us today, for your time, for your heart, and for how much I know you care about the people that you serve. You cannot have the kind of impact and influence that you've had over the last 12 years with so many people worldwide without having a heart for their well-being and what is possible for them. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you get his information and get to that 3 hour. Get what you can while you can. It's online. He's made it so easy for us to experience what he has for us on that. And with that, we're going to sign off. Thanks everybody for being with us this week. This is a special event connected with our weekly forum program. The weekly forum is normally every week. Those who are members of our School of Life Mastery courses, any of the guided classes people are also part of the weekly forum, which is a place where we come every Thursday, and you have a Rare Faith Programs facilitator who is there to field your questions and support you as you're working through the lessons in your classes and having questions and sharing your wins. It's a great community to be a part of. So this being a special event was open to the public, and the replay will be available for a limited time. If you're a member of the weekly forum, the replay will be available to you unlimited. If you're interested in joining us for the weekly forum, find us on the website, theschooloflifemastery.com, and we'll get you set up. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you another time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. See you all, guys.
Take care.